Nothing.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's all right. I was just wondering if we were waiting for anyone. Well, it's Wednesday, July 8th, and it's 9:30, and Helping Hands Humane Society. You're up.
Hi, thank you. I'm Kathy Maxwell with Helping Hands Humane Society. I appreciate you guys inviting me during this trying time. For the fiscal year of 2021, HHHS is requesting a 2% increase of the 2020 funds that were allocated to the shelter. Although this service fee does not cover all expenses, the small increase can assist the shelter in providing care to the animals of Shawnee County. Expenses which are not limited to simply boarding and vaccinations and the various medical treatments, but also extend to safety measures which are very important to the shelter. Keep the public both healthy and safety measures continue. Many diseases that animals can get can be zoonotic, which means they can pass to people. Things such as ringworm, which does take, if people get it, and animals months to treat. These treatable diseases, the shelter can help to prevent the public from acquiring. Although our funding request is only a small increase, the small increase can help us to prevent diseases from infecting both the humans and their pets. The shelter and its representatives are committed to providing quality care within our capacity to the animals of Shawnee County and to support the people of Shawnee County if they acquire animals that they can no longer care for or that are strays that they have somewhere to bring them to. So we do look forward to continuing our relationship in 2021, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner?
Several years, we've gone back and forth with our debate on our funding of Helping Hands.
Yes.
Whether we would adopt a model that says that Helping Hands would, and again, this is just for the county, this does not include the city. The city animal control is a completely separate entity, and this would involve any animals in the county, excluding cows and pigs and goats and sheep and other farm animals. This would only be dogs and cats and snakes and I don't know what else we've brought into you guys, but
Chinchillas.
The guinea pigs, rabbits, we don't take hoofed livestock.
Oh, and horses go to somebody else too.
Yeah.
Horses and cows and sheep and goats go to the veterinarian, but we're just dealing with the more smaller domesticated animals that would go to you guys. But whether or not we would have a set amount and it would be for whatever animals we bring in, or if it would be on a per animal basis, looking at a cost recovery for Helping Hands. I think in this time you're asking for a 2% increase to keep it on a however many animals we bring you basis.
Yeah, it's very hard to predict how many animals will come in. I mean, you can look at the numbers from the previous years to try to make an estimated guess, but you never know. Like one day we had no clue and county was going to go pick up 18 cats that they didn't know the day prior that they were going to. Right. So it's real tricky to really know how many animals you're going to get in per year.
I know that the concern from the Board of Helping Hands has been this may be advantageous to us if you don't bring us many animals, or it could be really disadvantageous to us if suddenly we have overwhelmed and we can't, because this is not based on a real cost recovery for Helping Hands.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it cuts both ways, I suppose.
Yeah, we always try to prepare for if we get a large influx of animals. Of course, if they come in as strays, we are required to hold them 72 hours for the owner to come claim. If an owner surrenders them, they become immediately owned by the shelter. So we look at our resources that we have if we're getting in a large population. Do we have rescues or even other shelters that can take them on? We have a huge foster care program. And so we do, especially on the small kittens, try to funnel them into foster care until they're old enough and can then immediately get adopted on our adoption floor.
Good. Thank you.
Mr. Mays?
So my family and I frequent helping hands. We just adopted a puppy a few weeks ago from you. And it seemed like when we were in there maybe a year ago, there were just an abundance of animals. I mean, they had like 2 rooms full of dogs, basically. The
Yeah.
side room was open as well. 2 weeks ago when we were in there were hardly any dogs at all. I would say
That's
maybe
correct.
10 total, and we took one home that day. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like there were a lot of cats.
There's, yeah.
So what's going on
Well,
with that, and are there things
so-
we're doing to prevent that?
Well, what's going on this year is the COVID-19. So when people were required to stay home and confined and animal control wasn't out as much, nobody was finding the animals and bringing it in. Or people were more willing to, we're at home for 30 days plus, let's go ahead and keep trying to work with this dog's behavior. We got a lot of phone calls on animal behavior during that time period, and we still do. So our intake went way down. And it's still down, but since 4th of July, it's gone back up. We do have although in our adoption room for dogs, yesterday there was 12 dogs for adoption, but behind the scenes, there's all kinds of dogs that are coming off of their stray hold now, because we're back up to probably an average of 30 a day, when prior to 4th of July, from, I would say, mid-March through 4th of July, we were probably only averaging maybe at most 10 animals coming in per day. So it's in reflection of the COVID-19 why the numbers are down. So we do expect, if not the remainder of this year, then definitely next year, that the intake numbers will go back up, probably by a lot, honestly.
Okay,
So,
all right, thanks.
Been in there a number of times, and it seems like in the past anyway, there's been a large percentage of dogs were pit bulls. You still
Yeah.
getting a lot of pit bulls?
yep, on the day before 4th of July, we got in 35 total animals. I think 20 of them were dogs and 80% of those were all pits. So yeah, there's a number of pit bulls. It's the most common breed of dog that we get, honestly, that probably any shelter gets. We're not the only one with that number of pits
I would
coming in.
imagine they're probably harder to adopt out than a lot of breeds.
They are. They have a stigma attached to them, so it can be a little tricky. The pit bull puppies, obviously, they will get adopted far faster than the adults. We'll have adult pits that are super nice, really friendly. They pass all of our behavior assessments that will sit on our adoption floor for months. Luckily, the volunteers come in every day, take them out all day long and play with them. But it is kind of hard because, yeah, they'll sit there for a couple months before they'll get adopted.
In terms of that, I think I've heard, I mean, this is hyperbole probably, but a lot of the people that own pit bulls don't spay and neuter them. And so is that
Yeah.
something that you guys see that when you bring them in as a stray or something, is that something you guys do?
So most pit bulls we get in are not spayed or neutered. I would say probably 90% are not sterilized. If the owner comes back and reclaims them while they're on their stray hold, there's nothing we can do about it because the animal's still owned by the owner. Once they get off a stray hold, we typically try to follow the policy. If the owner comes in after stray hold's over and the shelter then owns the animal, that we will adopt the animal back to them, but it will be spayed or neutered first.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think I have any other questions.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank
Well, I
you.
appreciate your time. Thank you guys very much.
All right, thank you.
We got an adorable little lab mix. We don't know really yet. When she fills out, we'll probably have a better idea what she